Hey guys, it's your girl Alea, and I'm pretty much introducing myself by my name because I haven't decided exactly what I want my YouTube channel's name to be. By the time this video is posted and uploaded and all that good stuff, and you guys are watching it, I would have figured that out by now, but as of now, I'm still deciding. So I'm just going to introduce myself by my name, which is Alea. Anywho, getting started, this video is basically about why I decided to join the Navy on the enlisted route, even though I do have my degree. And that's basically I did try to go the officer route at first, and it's not like I got disqualified or eliminated. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the story. So, I went to a Navy recruiter, and he pretty much referred me to an officer recruiter. And my recruiter, we never met in person, which I thought was a little bit weird, but whatever. He basically just called me up one day and just trying to get a feel for what I wanted to do. And I told him that I wanted to be a public affairs officer or a PAO. And he was like, okay, cool. I'm going to send you a link to the book that you need to get to start studying for the test. So if you're not if you're not interested in doing an aviation related job as an officer, you have to take a test called the OAR, and I can't exactly remember what that stands for. I think it's like Officer Aptitude something or not. I can't remember what it is. Not the point. But yeah, you have to take the OAR, and the OAR is just 3 sections: math, English, and science. And it's pretty much the 2 math sections.
It is so hot in there.
Trying to record a video.
Huh?
Trying to record a video.
Oh, you doing that now?
Yes.
What you recording?
So, my bad, y'all. I had to pause the video because my sister was being extra. I'm about to start recording these videos when I'm home alone. But anyways, what was I saying? Something about the recruiter. I can't remember. Oh yeah, so boom. My recruiter, he pretty much told me to get this test to take the OAR, or get this book to take the OAR. And he was like, take about a month or 2 to study it to make sure that, you know the material well, so that when you take the test, you score really well and you have competitive scores, because you need competitive scores to, go from a civilian to an officer. So I was like, okay, fine. This was about early August. So I didn't take the OAR until like mid to late September. I think it was the 18th to be exact. And when I took the test, I scored low. I got a 40. And that's pretty much because I pretty much failed the science section. I didn't finish. I don't know how many questions was left unanswered. The science section that was in this book that I studied wasn't anything like the science section on the actual test. And I can go more into detail about the actual test in another video. But yeah, I pretty much failed it. And the little secretary lady who was administering the test, she was like, oh, I'm pretty sure you need a 45 to be a PAO. And I was like, pretty sure? Like, either it's a yes or no. Do I need a 45 or not? She was like, I think so. I'm pretty sure. I don't need a think so. I need a definite answer. Like, let me know. She was like, well, you can take a test again in a month. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll do that. So I went online to look it up myself to see what score I actually needed. And I found this website. I can't remember the exact website, but it had a list of like all the different officer jobs and the scores you needed. And some jobs had like little notes on the side. So it turns out I only needed a 35 and I scored a 40. So I scored high enough to be qualified. But I saw a little section on the side and said the selection committee makes their, selections for PAOs in October. And I was like, that's like a week and a half away. So I don't have time to retake the test. I was like, okay, so let me just run this by my recruiter to double check. Because if I don't have time to retake the test, then I'm not going to retake the test, obviously. And not everything you read online is accurate or updated. So I was like, let me see what he has to say. So he was like, oh, let me get back to you. I'm like, okay. So he got back to me a few days later, even closer to October, and he was like, yeah, you only needed a 35, but however, they do make their selections in October, and your entire package should have been submitted in September. So the entire package includes the test scores, obviously, 3 recommendation letters, and 3 interviews with actual PAOs. All that should have been already submitted. And I'm just like, bruh, you knew exactly what I wanted to do from day one. Why didn't you already know this information? Why didn't you let me know? Why did you give me this book that didn't help me in the science section? Like, I had all these questions, and I was just really upset. So I was like, so you're telling me I have to wait, a whole year before I can even see if I'm qualified, or before I can even see if I'm selected to be a PAO? And he was like, yeah, basically. And I was just like, no bueno, that's not what I'm trying to do. So I decided to just think about what I wanted to do. And I was like, let me see what they got going on the enlisted side. Because initially they was like, oh, you can go ahead and be, a supply chain officer or this and that. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that if it's not related to my mass communications degree. I don't want to do it. Like, this is the only reason why I'm joining the military, is to have a job related to that field. So let me see what they got going on the enlisted side. So they had the mass communication specialist, and when I read the job descriptions for both jobs, the mass communication specialist, or MC, they are pretty much the Navy storyteller. They write the articles for the Navy when shit goes down in the Navy, when stuff needs to be, presented and getting out to the world and all that good stuff. They write the articles, they do the photography, videography, graphic design, if Navy needs a graphic design or a logo or something like that, I don't know. They do radio if they're overseas or on the ship, podcasts, what else? They run the Navy social media. If, a civilian news station wants to do a story on the news, the Navy MCs act as a personnel or whatever it's called to assist outside news sources, those sorts of things. So the MCs do like the nitty gritty, like the MCs are in there. The PAOs, on the other hand, they are more like public relations. They do like press releases and media briefings, and they're basically a Navy publicist. And I don't really want to do that. When I was in school, I did not like public relations. I did not like any type of publicist type, none of that shit. I liked writing. I liked doing the editorial stuff. I don't mind photography, videography, all that other stuff. Like, the MC job description was more in line with what I wanted to do. So I didn't mind going on the enlisted side and working as an MC, and then working with the PAOs to get a glimpse of what they do on the regular before jumping in. And the more that I thought about it, I was like, the officers, they are held at a high level. They're supposed to be like examples, role models, all that stuff. I'm not saying that I don't want to be that, but I'm also not saying that I want to be that either. Like, not off the bat anyways. Like, going from civilian to the military is a big leap, but going from civilian to officer is an even bigger leap. And I know a lot of people are like, do it for the money, they make more money, they make more this. Yeah, but they also have more responsibilities, more stress. They can't get away with a lot of things that maybe a lower enlisted sailor could. Not saying that, E3s and shit can break the rules, but E3 breaking a rule and then an officer breaking the same rule is going to have completely different circumstances and consequences, in my opinion. I don't know. Might be the same way. I don't fucking know. But it really came down to the fact that I wasn't waiting a whole year to see if I'm selected, because with the enlisted route, you pick that job. If it's available, you sign your contract, you good to go. With the officer route, you have to apply, do the interviews, do this, that, and the third. I'm sorry, that fucking dog is barking. It's annoying. But yeah, and if for whatever reason they decide that you're not qualified to be a PAO, then you're back at square one. And I was not about to be possibly back at square one in October of 2018. Excuse me, that was dead. Like I said, the whole reason why I was joining the military is to get job experience and to get my shit on the road. Like for real, like, yeah, whatever. So, yeah, that's pretty much why I decided to join the Navy on the enlisted side. I didn't want to wait a year, and I was just trying to do something different with my life. So if you guys have any questions about anything, I guess, leave them in the comments below. I mean, there is slight perks to joining the college degree. You're going in as an E3. It's really not that hard to go in as an E3, though. If you had ROTC experience, if you had, I think, at least more than 40 college credits, then you'll be an E3. I'm not really sure. You can look that up. A lot of people I've heard of people who went from E1 to E2 in the beginning of boot camp, and by the time they left boot camp, they were E3. But E3 is the highest you can go in as. You can't go higher than that before boot camp or in boot camp. So there's no promotions for me until after I graduate boot camp. But yeah, that's my story. If anyone else is interested or thinking about, joining the enlisted side as with a college degree, tell me why you want to do it. And if you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.